So, LaGuardia Airport runway incursion between CRJ 900 and a fire truck. Unfortunate incident. And two of the pilots, they gave their lives away. I'm surprised that none of these so-called experts have talked about one of the main issues. Not even the NTSB in their press conference has talked about that. And all these, I call them readers, they just read the reports. I mean, anyone can do that, but people are so lazy these days that they don't want to read by themselves, so they want someone else to read a report. This is not talking about an incident, that unfortunate incident has happened. So the point I'm going to make today, right now, I'm sure that NTSB will work on that one too. It's their job, not our job, but I mean, as being an aviation enthusiast, I want to put my 2 cents in it. The role of the truck driver, the fire truck driver, is very important because no matter what you say, it's his fault that he entered an active runway. Even the runway lights were red for him. Even ADC can't see him, and he gave him clearance, but he should have stopped there. So it's his fault. And he could have avoided this emergency. Not the ADC guy, not the pilots, not the United Airlines, but the truck driver. He could have avoided this incident. How? I will break it down for you. Now, and I will also have some sympathy for the truck driver too. Eventually, at the end of the day, it's his fault. I don't blame the ADC guy. I don't blame the pilots. It's the truck guy. Because clearly the runway lights were red for him and he should have crossed. But yet he made. But why would have he crossed? Now, we'll come to this point in a few minutes. First, let's see the pilot's point of view. It's nighttime, misty, visibility is 4 miles, 6 or 7 kilometers, and it's nighttime for sure. And the cockpit view of this aircraft, you could see that it's not so much visibility available. The front dashboard is really small, and then the buttons on top and the cockpit layout. So not much things. And once you're approaching at night, there's so many lights, city lights, these lights. So everyone has talked about that. And even then, pilots realized normally once there's a touchdown happens, the captain does not take the controls over. But in this case, we have heard that right after touchdown, the captain said, "My controls," and the first officer gave him the controls. That means that he still did realize that there's something coming from the left, and some of the passengers said that we did see that plane was trying. I mean, he must have put both his feet on the brake pedals and tried to stop this aircraft, but he couldn't. Too late. 8 seconds is less time to react to this kind of emergency. The aircraft was in too much energy. It could not have stopped, but he tried. So this shows that pilots, after touchdown, were aware within 2 seconds. The controls were given to the senior pilot, the captain. Both were very young, 30 years old guys. My heart goes out for them. Condolences to their family as well. They tried their best, but this was an inevitable happen. The ADC guy, now, I don't know why would he say in such a, I mean, he said crazily, "Truck one, stop. This normally doesn't, that means that he was visual. I think he was in the tower, I think. And he saw this CRJ 900 landing down the Canadian Express jet, and he could see, so he tried to stop the truck, which he has already given clearance. Why? I will come to that in a later part. But he also tried to stop it. And those people who say that, oh, ATC guy should have, done this, done that, oh, he was doing too much. Hello. You want two people to do that job, that one only deals with the ground trucks and one only deals with the air, then where they're going to synchronize each other? So it is the job of one guy. He has to maintain between the ground and the air. Now, why would this incident have happened? Now, let's come to that one. So I don't blame the ATC guy. It was his job to deal with the ground and with the air and all the taxis he boarded the aircraft, United Aircraft, I think, to ask him to hold short, stop, was told him, and then the truck, but it was too late. But he was visual. This I can be very, very sure that he was visual what is happening over there. Now the point, which no one has been talking about, is this CRJ 900 was number 2. It was number 2, so that means that there was number 1 aircraft too. Of course, counting is very simple. What was that number 1 aircraft? I tried to search online, of course, using ChatGPT, Grok, Google, so that I should get the same result. And 3 of them, after inquiring, they gave me one result, that this was a Southwestern, I think, 3988 Boeing 737-900 that landed before CRJ 900. And then there was the third in row was Delta Airliner. Again, I'm not with it, 2386 something. That was given the go around and to maintain 2,000 feet, and it landed on JF Kennedy Airport. So why this is important? Now, when CRJ 900 was given the clearance call to land, it was at about 2,500 feet above ground level, and they haven't lowered their gears down. They haven't done their flaps yet. So that was about 3 minutes and 7 seconds to the crash. So they were number 2. Once they were given this call of landing, clear to land, and then they started lowering their gears and flaps down to 30 and then to 45 degree, and then they started initiating their descent. Where was aircraft number 1? Now, the aircraft number 1 would not have landed yet, that's for sure. Otherwise, this would have been the lead aircraft, CRJ 900. But the ATC clearly says that you are number 2. That means that the Southwest Airliner was somewhere in between. Now, it could be anywhere. Normally, they keep a distance of 5 to 6 nautical miles because of the wake turbulence. And that is also a job of the ATC and also the job of wherever the systems are installed on the aircrafts. So let's suppose this aircraft was the standard 2 minutes away from Mr. CRJ 900. Now, it could be less and it could be more. But it was number 2. And as we know that it took 3 minutes and 7 seconds to the impact after touching down 8 seconds. So 3 minutes from wherever it received the call of being number 2. So let's say if the front aircraft was at 3 minutes away, and as soon as it said that you are number 2, CRJ 900, you are number 2, the Southwestern aircraft touchdown, let's say. Now, the runway lights would have turned red as soon as the Southwestern Airliner entered the threshold, which is around 1 mile away. That means it's almost 40 to 50 seconds away from touchdown. And that's where the red lines turn on, because it's an automatic system. It senses the aircraft incoming and the speed of the aircraft. It should be above 34 knots, and it should be within the range of 1 nautical mile or 1 mile. So now the lights are on, and the trucks, they have been dispatched almost 6 minutes before the impact. The ADC guy, after listening to the United Airliner, he dispatched them, and they are almost 0.37 miles away from this taxi holding short place. So it would have taken them like 2 or 3 minutes to be there, because they're always ready. You just switch on the engine, and then they all start to go towards with the company, right? So they went to it would have taken them 2 or 3 minutes, and that makes that it like 3 minutes before the impact. Now, number one has landed, and number one will not let the lights turn green or clear to use the runway until it reaches below 34 knots. This is the random standard operating procedure for the lights to be turned on and off. So this aircraft touched down. After touching down, the truck would have seen this aircraft passing by, right? Now, this aircraft is passing by. Now, normally there's a 2 to 3 minutes of distance between the number 2 aircraft and the number 1 aircraft. So the truck must have seen this aircraft landing. Lights are red. It's slowing down. It takes 20 to 30 seconds for it to slow down. And meanwhile, the CRJ 900 already was in. So the distance, the spacing between them was not maintained. And for the truck driver, he knows that 2 or 3 minutes is a normal thing. So for him, it's easy, to cross. It's not like he's not going for crossing the Suez Canal. It's just a little bit of distance. So he's just going to get in. 15, 20 seconds it would take him to clear the runway. So as soon as he sees the Southwestern Airliner passing by this Delta taxi point, and he gives the call right away to the ADC guy. And ADC guy, in the mind, he also had the same thing, that the jet number 2 is at least 2 or 3 minutes away from the Southwestern. So he would have cleared, okay, clear to taxi, clear to cross the runway. Lights were still red. Now here the truck driver, because he has clearly seen a jet landing down, clearing the runway, and probably getting into the taxi, slowing down to 34 knots or below that. So he would have been like, probably some malfunction with the lights. And that's why he ignored the lights. Or else it's criminal. Or else he was drunk, and that's also criminal. Or he's not fit for this duty. Why have you hired him? So all these probabilities, you can kick them out. Only one is left. That he was under the impression one jet has landed and is cleared the runway off. And now I don't see any jet. For him, the visibility, seeing a jet at 45 degrees of angle and he's on the left side, it's also very hard. So and with this misty conditions and the visibility on that day, he would not have seen anything on the short finals, period. He's sitting on the left side, the runway's on the right side, and the aircraft is at the back. So there's no way that he would have seen that aircraft too. So that's why once the ADC cleared him, he went in. Now, at that time, they tried to stop him, but couldn't stop him. And this unfortunate incident has happened. And if you see, at the same time, the previous jet, Delta Airliner, was given right after 1 minute. It was given the call to go around. It means that Delta Airliner was already on that position where we know the calls of CRJ 900. So because the call was given to it that climb and maintain 2,000 feet. So that means that the jet was already lower than 2,000 feet. So he said climb and maintain 2,000 feet, go straight in, go around. And of course, he diverted to the airport JF Kennedy. So Jet 3 and Jet 2, Their distance was standard, but Jet 2 and Jet 1, I don't think so. That's why those runway lights were never turned off. They were turned red all the time. But the confusion with the truck driver was, the fire truck driver was that he thought probably a malfunction. And I'm sure that once they're going to interview, the NTSB is going to interview, and if that interview is public, you would know that that's the only explanation one can give. Now, who to blame? It's up to you. I would blame the United guy. He also did a big F up. He parked at a wrong place. He was clearly instructed to turn right, but he turned left. On the second attempt, when he was trying to, get on the runway, take off, land. So he preoccupied this poor ADC guy. So again, one thing is right, that it's not one person's fault. It's a combination of things happening at the same time. But you can't say that ADC was fatigued or he couldn't because he was the only one. No. This kind of thing, only one person can manage. Otherwise, there's no way of letting the truck pass and then another taxi controller giving landings. It would have been a much bigger disaster than this one if there were two people involved in this one. He did what he could do. We can't blame him. The truck driver, he was under the impression of this. Probably lights were malfunctioned, so that's why he crossed the runway. And the pilots would not have stopped this aircraft, even if it would have touched down on the initial side of the beginning of the runway. Because of the wake turbulence, they have to make an impact further than the previous aircraft has landed. Otherwise, they would have been in this wake turbulence, and that would have been even a bigger disaster. More casualties would have happened. So this is all a sequence of these events that has happened. Eventually, we lost two gems, two pilots. So that's all from my side. See you next time. Allah Hafiz.